I think I saw our wonderful guest in the building, Monique. Hey, Miss. Hey, girl. Hey. I gotta take you off of mute. I gotta give you the floor. Oh my goodness, look at you, so gorgeous. Hi guys. Hi, Monique.
Hey, Laura. It's
Welcome.
nice to be here.
Yes, yes. I'm so excited. Everyone is so excited to meet you. First of all, thank you for blessing us with your presence. I know it's early over there in LA, so we really appreciate you being here. So what we're gonna do is really just chop it up a little bit, let them all know about your world and the impact that it has on brands and businesses and all of that good stuff. So we'll do that. And then I would like to hear a little bit more about how, they can do this. How can they work with you? How could they, get big, become a little celebrity or something, and then we'll take questions. So does that sound good?
That's fine. That's fine.
Beautiful. Well, everyone, this is Miss Monique Jackson, celebrity publicist to the stars. We are so blessed and honored to have her here. And I won't even screw up your intro, so I'm going to let you take the floor. And if you could just introduce yourself to the group and let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Laurel, for having me. Thanks, Social Lab. I'm excited to be here. I actually was peeking around when I first got in here, and I see some familiar names and icons. So, hello, friends. You know who you are. I'm like, whoa, some of my friends are over here winning. They're about their business because I know a couple of ladies that are enrolled in this class, and I had no idea that they were here.
Wow.
Small world. But let me just tell you, though, the ones that I see that are in here are superstars in their own right. Like they're already winning. I'm like, what? So that's some of your magic. Okay. Got it. But I always say a smart woman knows to stay educated, right? And the smart woman knows that she does not know everything. So I want to shout people out, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So anyway, so I'm going to act as though I'm talking to friends because Laurel, you're a friend, and I see a couple of my girlfriends up in here. Yeah. So for those of you who do not know me, I am Monique Jackson. I'm a celebrity publicist, a brand strategist, a TV show creator, and so much more. Like, aren't we all so much more? So what people typically know me for, though, is helping corporate clients as well as celebrity clients get the press that they deserve in order to brand themselves, in order to get the visibility they need to raise their platform, basically to get their message out to the world. I recently started teaching some free master classes for everyday entrepreneurs and experts, women that look just like me, who want to win. And part of the reason why I started doing that, honestly, guys, is because of your coach here, Laurel. We got in contact because we were crossing paths with other people in this social world, in this business world. And she really did push me to get it going. She encouraged me. And sometimes you just need to hear from other people that you are great. And so I appreciate you, Laurel, because I was already going to USC, which is a huge school out here on the West Coast, paying a lot of money to do digital marketing and to take up digital marketing courses. And the bottom line is that I already knew that I was winning in my business with these celebrities in the corporate brands. I had proven strategies that worked. I had years and years of results working with people like Niecy Nash, Layla Ali, Lisa Leslie, Brandy. I worked at Def Jam Records. I worked at Universal Pictures. I worked on all kinds of big projects. I've been unit publicity for BET, WeTV, Lifetime, VH1, the list goes on and on and on. I've worked with Tamar Braxton, like Ludacris, you name it. Honestly, there are some athletes, like I have had a really, really blessed career. But even with that, I still wanted to go back to school to educate myself. So I started taking classes at USC. And somewhere amongst discovering the digital world while taking classes there, I'm still enrolled online. So just like you guys are doing school online, I'm paying a gazillion bucks to learn this stuff at USC. And so somewhere between doing some homework, some extra homework, I ran into Laurel, fell in love with her story, and just start connecting the dots. So I have been double dipping. I am paying two different places to make it happen, but Laurel is the reason why I'm here today, because Laurel is the reason why I honestly got pushed to just keep on going. A lot of times, if I can just sidetrack for a second, a lot of times we as business women, we as mothers, we as entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and things like that, even if we know we have something special, we are stuck in that forever educated, forever I'm about to start mode.
Right.
And sometimes you need a team. So I'm proud to see that, there's 30 plus women on this screen that have all cultivated a community to support each other, because that is very, very important. So talk about me. I can keep on going and on and on and on. So let's get down to the good parts. What is it that you want to know, Laurel? I'm going to be honest with you. I had put together a presentation, but then I realized, I'm like, you know what? I kind of just really want to have a conversation with you. So we can just like really fall into it. I think that most people know what publicity is. But if you don't, publicity and marketing, when I was in school back in the day, I actually went to school for marketing, right? And so just so we know the difference, publicity is the way that the public relates to you and your brand, right? Publicity stands for PR stands for public relations. So it's basically how the public relates to you and your brand. Marketing is how you use that relatability to create promotions and advertising in order to sell your brand, right? So they go hand in hand. When I think about Laurel and what she offers in this class, I think a lot about like some of the same things that I would teach a student of mine or a junior publicist that are coming up underneath me. You need to have a great brand story. You need to know what your objectives are. You need to know who your audience is. You need to know what problem you're solving. Because when you're going for advertisement, whether it's free advertisement, which publicity is supposed to be free advertisement, right? I say supposed to be because when you're paying a publicist, right, you're still paying someone. But the art that I specialize is in free advertising, right? And so you still have to have some of the same strategies in place. When you're dealing with ads, like what Laurel teaches you, your buyer is your direct audience. When you're dealing with publicity, your buyer actually is the person you're pitching, right? And so you use a lot of the same principles. Just picture Essence magazine, if you will. I think everyone on here probably knows something about Essence, whether it's the Essence Festival, Essence magazine, or what have you, right? So if I am pitching one of you all as a women in business, an entrepreneur, a mother, a go-getter, and all of this stuff, then I need to tell a story that's going to attract the audience of Essence. So Essence magazine, actually, let me give y'all the goods. I'm just gonna jump straight to it.
Please, because don't hold back.
Once I tell y'all this, working with someone like Laurel is honestly a win, because at the end of the day, I said I worked in television, right? I worked in pictures. I do publicity, so I work with magazines. The sales and marketing department, the sales and advertising department are the people who run the business, because the sales department has a certain quota, a certain amount of money that they need to bring into the network, into the publications, into the radio stations, into wherever, so that the business can continue to operate. So the sales and advertising team is actually listening to the audience. So even if you think you have this fly idea and you're like, oh yeah, I want to be on, God rest in peace, Sister Circle is no longer here, but that was a very popular, show for women of color. So you want to be on Sister, or you want to be on The Real, or you want to be in Essence magazine, or you want to, have a write-up in this one or that one. Honestly, you have to tell your brand story. You have to be able to identify, write the right pitch, which is copy for you all, right? Write the right copy that is going to sell to the audience, right? So even while you're pitching, you might be pitching to Lisa over at Essence, and that's your homegirl, but she has to keep her job. Like as a publicist, I need to know who's Essence audience, what's their pain, what problem is my client gonna solve, You know what I mean? I need to understand different angles. So like write different ad copies, right?
Yep.
In order to attract certain stories and certain buy-ins. So it really is very, very similar. The different methods, same outcome. It's just that if I had to say it in one way, the way when I'm teaching people about publicity, I also teach them about marketing because that's where my first degree came from,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And in that, I have to underline what's happening now. The reason why I went back to school just last year was because of social media marketing,
Mm.
right? And so I have to address that. And so the reason why I love L'Oreal and I love her language and I love what she's teaching is because it goes hand in hand. It's almost like you understand the science behind advertising. And so then you already have a tier up, a 1 or 2 up on publicity. Or if you understand publicity, you almost understand the science of advertising. You
Right.
pair those both together, and what you do is you create from your passion, from your brand story, from your isms of whoever you are, right? And what your story is, you create a story, right? That identifies your purpose and your passion, right? Then you pair it with press, which are the free advertisement that you get, right? And you leverage that to create other platforms and other profit opportunities. So what I would tell someone is, oh, you can get press. And what I typically do now that I'm running ads, right, is that I show people, like, I can show you that I have proven strategies. And the way I can validate that is not only through clients and people that have worked with me, right, but also the masses. Media is one place to get your business growing and booming off of one hit. You can be on one television show, you can be in one article, and the right people read that, and you attract buyers, you attract clients, you attract, the audience that you're looking for. So if you're able to pair press and then incorporate some ads and position yourself with a strong brand story, doing your bio, doing your copy and things like that, and then understanding who your core audience is, you're winning.
It's over, right? I
You're
mean,
winning. You're winning. You're winning.
One to effect.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. And it's so funny because whenever we're on the phone, it's like hours and hours and we can go on, but I'm trying to think like, because you've taught me so much and opened my mind to an area that I never even really was familiar with. I never had that firsthand experience until meeting you. So I'm thinking, my perspective on PR before was, oh, that's for celebrities. Like, who am I? I don't need that. I can't use that. I'm not eligible or whatever. I'm not there yet. So does anybody in here, drop it in the chat, do you guys have that kind of perspective? Or are you like, nah, honey, like I need this now, or I'm meant for it. I was born with press. Yes. Okay. So that's how I was. So can you explain to us the difference between how do we know if we're ready for PR?
So I'll tell you this. I tell people this all the time. If you're a smart business person, you're ready for press day one. You should already be thinking about it, right? Because PR and marketing should be part of your business plan. And if you're not structuring your business plan properly, right? If you're not, I know L'Oreal gives you all systems and calculations. I mean, when you click on one of her downloads, you get one of these calculating and planning theories and put in this number and equate this. And girl, trust me, I was up all night. The first night I was like, shit, how do I make this amount? Okay, what do I do over here? That's the same thing with a business plan, right? You have to be able to map it out. You have to be almost able to predict what's going to happen, right, in your business. Otherwise, you just flat out there just swimming in the ocean with no lifeguard, no vest, no, you know what I mean? No nothing to protect you, you know what I mean? And that is not the smartest thing to do, And so what I would say is this. When you start thinking about a business, in order to plan it out, you need to have, space in there for marketing and for advertising, for PR and all of those things, right? Okay. But I've also had clients that I said I work with corporate clients, and now I'm working with everyday women, just like you and I, right? And I tell them often that you don't need accolades, right? People think that you need all of these accolades. People yeah, you know, I get that all the time. Well, I don't have accolades like such and such. You work with such and such, and you da. And I'm like, no, you don't need that. Because what
Okay.
people get tripped up on is they think that you need the media, right? They think that like, oh my gosh, if I can just get a piece, if I can get a piece,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a humble brag on L'Oreal, a loud brag, honestly. I pitched her for one thing that was a news piece, and it was just like retweeted. That's the easiest way I'm gonna tell you guys. But basically, it went haywire. I got like 78 hits on other sub news websites, right?
Yeah.
They were in different markets. Some markets, I'm like, Nashville, why do you want to know about it? Whatever. Because there's business women in Nashville, right? And yeah, it's on a news website. So it's abc.com, and you know what I mean? Or ionla.com and those things like that. It was a news piece. So it was about a woman who is an entrepreneur helping other entrepreneur women like kill it in sales, right? And so, you know, it wasn't an entertainment piece or a gossip piece. So you might not have saw it, but I tell you what, the people who were searching for being enlightened, you know what I mean, in their business, or needed some business structure, or needed some encouragement, you know, right when COVID was hitting, they saw that piece. 78 pickups, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not about how much press you've done in the beginning, right? It's about what you actually can offer the audience. Remember that part, right? Then it's not so much about who you are and, you know, how shiny and glittery you are, whatever, to make them want you. You're not going out on a date, right?
That's what I thought. I was like, what do I need to do? How do I need to prep? He was like,
girl,
no,
right? Is he gonna like me? No, you're not doing that. What you need to do is walk in authority, right? You know how there's a saying, girl, know your worth. Know your worth. Understand that, listen, even since COVID, right? So these last like 4 months, we have uploaded more digital content than we have in the last 30 years.
What?
Let that sink in.
What?
In the last 4 months, we have uploaded, y'all excuse my nails, we are still on quarantine, right?
Yes.
It's way easy to pop on. I looked at it, I was like, oh shoot, I love man hands. But no, we have uploaded more content in the last 4 months.
That's crazy.
Than we have in the last 30 years since new media has been in existence. Wow. So what does that tell you? That tells you that everyone is catching on. That tells you that where blogs were like, oh, they could update once or twice a day, or, you know, even websites could update once a day or whatever. Between all of the social media platforms, between everyone posting and reposting, between all of these other things, right? These places need you. They need stories from everyday people just like us. They need to hear wins. They need to hear encouragement. They need to hear anything that's going to be educational, inspirational, transformational. They need it.
Yeah.
And there aren't just one way of doing it. There's this whole thing that I teach called the pathway to press. And just off the top of my head, I will tell you that there's layers to it, right? But the first thing is have a website. You have a website because that's your first introduction, right? So have some type of landing page or something. When people type in those SEO, those keywords or whatever, they can find you, right? So make sure your name is in there, you know, your bio, things like that. Say it again.
Priscilla was just asking about this. We just talked about this earlier.
Yeah, so that's your first introduction to the world, right? You want to have a strong bio in there, a clear, high-res picture, all the things, honestly, again, like PR and what L'Oreal teaches us. So
I hope y'all taking notes. I'm about to pull my notebook back out. I was like, wait.
Then you also, so the website is key, right? A landing page or some type of website where they can find you. When they Google in, they can find you. Because then that's the first proof that you actually exist. That's the first introduction that your business actually exists. Then I would say like maybe something like guest posting. Guest posting is easy to do right now because, again, people are looking for content. I'm sure if you all congregate amongst the 30 plus of you all, there's somebody on here that has some blog or some place that you could honestly be collaborating with and writing with, right? But you want your name to appear in other places and kind of like from a 90-degree angle, talk about how great you are, what problem you solve and everything else. Not like, hey, I'm the baddest bitch and I'm da 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 da. But talk about the pain point and the solution that you offer, right? Or have someone else talk about you. But if you're guest blogging, that's another introduction to the world as a professional expert, because you're removed yourself from where your first point of touch is. This is my website. To now I'm on L'Oreal's website, and L'Oreal is talking about how great of a service I provide and how many years I've been in business and who I've helped and all of the stuff that I'm going over right now, right? And so now whoever goes to L'Oreal's site now is seeing a post about me. And so now my audience has expanded, but now I'm being introduced, not as first person, but second person. And whenever you can put some mystique behind it, right? Or put not a direct touch point, now people are going to search you out if they're interested, right? So now they're already coming to you, kind of like a warm lead.
That's mind blowing.
See how I play that? That's kind of like a warm lead, okay?
Yeah, right. That's huge. Let me just take a break for a second because my mind is blown, and I know I get schooled all the time by Monique, and every time I'm like, what? Like, what world have I been living in? So do you guys see this huge impact with Pressed, and then combining that with what you're doing now? Because guess what? As a matter of fact, we might have to set this up, Bree, guest posting amongst the group, because every single one of you are running ads. So what does that mean? Every single one of you are getting fresh new traffic to your pages every day. Imagine if now you were able to have a post on 29 other people who are in here right now. The rest of the hundreds, they make it, so we're in it. But imagine those two together, where now you're getting all of your traffic plus a piece of everybody else's traffic. Just because, and then from that warm perspective, like Monique said, where now they're getting to know you from someone else talking about you. Because guess what's the best form of, before advertising, everybody used to tell me, well, I use WOM. That's my thing, WOM. I'm like, word of mouth, that's no way to live. But it is a great way for, the back end for someone to be introduced to you. How many times do you, right, social proof, how many times do you end up working with somebody because your homegirl said, oh, yes, you have to. So that's the same concept, but amplifying that, combining the press with the ads is just amplifying that to a whole new level. I mean, that's, to me, crazy. And I never even thought about that. I was just like, oh, I got a press piece? Like, no, that's not for me. But between all of us, that's crazy.
That's strength and that's power. But so we go down the whole press pathway. And so then I would say, just kind of picking up, and I won't spend too much time on it because I'm not trying to eat up all you all's time, but even going down for step from there, after your guest blogging, then there's another thing that I teach that kind of rolls it right into, again, what you all are learning now. So you do your website, you do your guest posting, right? Or your guest blogging, and you want to show up. I'll just say this though, you want to show up on places that are relevant to your story, right? So you don't want to create doggy biscuits for, bite-sized puppies, those little lap puppies or whatever, and then end up on a trainer's website who trains Beyonce. Like, they're going to be like, huh, well, how does that correlate? Oh, when you walk in your dog, you get exercise. It's a little bit far-fetched. If you're creating doggy biscuits, then show up on Petco, show up on Pet Parents or some shit like that. Don't just grab anything. Don't be so desperate that you look hungry and out of touch. Go where people will be searching for you, because their mind is already ready to receive that type of information. So they'll be a little bit open. You know what I mean? So they're searching for you. They're on a place where they're already familiar. And then now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, boom, magically you drop in, right? Okay, so then after, I would say, guest posting, then there's radio, there's podcast, radio, podcast, and even lives now. I add that to the conversation because lives are happening. What I will tell you about this though is like, okay, so radio and podcasting, it's great, right? But lives actually right now, hold on, I'm gonna give y'all another good piece. Ooh. I work with A-list celebrities on a daily basis. Yeah. Okay. every one of you all in this camp right here is on the same playing field when it comes to lives.
Wow.
Think about it. We are in COVID. We are in quarantine. Can't nobody go nowhere. I just got off the phone with OWN yesterday talking about creating this whole show that's fucking wrapped around being on Zoom.
What?
Everybody is on the same playing field right now. So I don't care who it is. 2 weeks ago, Niecy Nash was doing interviews, right, on Good Morning America and this one and that one, and all from her living room.
Yeah.
Homie.
Yeah.
We just did a panel. Some people know my partner, Keita. We just did a panel that Keita created for another client. And we did we're working on this whole series for this client who's already on television, a 6-week series, and we're doing it via Zoom.
Wow.
I did a whole premiere of a movie on live, social media live. So guess what we did? We had the artist, the talent, come on to live, because live is more interactive than Zoom. Zoom, this is private, right? Live, if you have a client that has 1 million followers or what have you, and another network that wants to, see all of that happening or whatever, we want to do it in live because we want to show them right then and there the power of the client and how we're promoting that.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that their live is no different. We did a whole red carpet via social media live. So
What?
the media person had 15 minutes at best with that person. Another movie thing that we did 5-minute interviews. That was it. And we were dropping it. If you went over, you had to get dropped. Sorry, because the next media outlet was in line. But guess what? It gives everyday people, it gives all of us access, right? So it's super interactive, but it's also leveling the playing ground. The only difference between Priscilla and Monique, did I say your name right? Priscilla and Monique doing a live together is that we'd be happy if we came up with 100 people. But guess what? Out of those 100 people on our live, 50 of them probably don't know who the hell Priscilla is until they get on the live and hear her start talking about her project, right? 50 of them don't know who I am, right? So we're sharing, we're cross-promoting, we're collaborating, we're on the same playing ground as somebody.
Sorry, what's the oh God, the rap thing that I'm listening to every what's the battle now? The IG
versus.
I was about to say this or whatever. Versus. I mean, that's insane. Like,
and let me tell you something that was created years ago. But talk about timing.
Wow.
That was created years ago.
Really?
But talk about timing. I tell people all the time that if you're a smart business person, you will amplify your business and create multiple business in a season where people see problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you're learning here too.
Everyone's
see a problem, create a solution, offer up your fucking solution.
Right.
Versus winning right now.
Huge. And they're just exchanging audiences at the end of the day, right? And growing like crazy.
And millions of people are watching.
Yes.
Yeah. And Tim and Alicia Keys' baby daddy Swiss.
Oh.
In the Bucks.
What?
Because we watch.
That's right.
But it's leveling again. So then there's that radio podcast and those lives. And again, you all can do that interactive with each other. You know what I mean? So that's another part of the press line. I could go down. I can go all the way through the press pathway, but that's just something else I teach. And again, I'll give you my Instagram handle, because if you guys have more questions and things like that, not that I'm finishing about to hop off, but I'm just saying it's at Monique Jackson, the number 1. So it's at Monique Jackson, just like Michael Jackson. So it's MONIQUE. I would add it in the chat, but I'm going to tell y'all something. I am so not techie, y'all. That's part of the reason why I don't want to do a live. Like, since we've been home on COVID, girl, I called my assistant for everything, and she's 3 hours ahead of me, and I'll be wearing her out. Like last night, it was 11 o'clock, and I was like, okay, wait a minute. How do I do? Wait a minute, girl, wait. I can't find it on Kajabi. I'm in help. Can you just tell me right quick? Waking her up. Can you tell me right quick? I don't want to mess up nothing. I get stuck frozen all the time. But I got some answers for y'all, though. Y'all just going to have to hit me up. I do work Instagram.
Okay. So we have questions. We have questions. Everybody make sure you go follow Monique, because I mean, she's like, just the wealth of knowledge is constantly overflowing. I'm always overwhelmed with just amazingness when I finish talking to you. And I'm just like, oh my God, how, and you know, we're always like, how can we take this even further? How can we, you know, work together?
Right. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out before 2020 is over with, because smart businesses always find solutions.
Yeah.
So we're going to find bomb solution for some folks.
And you're still out here working. The other day she was like, I mean, I could come over, but I'm on the phone with Layla Ali. Can I was like, oh, goodbye. I just
Right. Yeah, we're doing a whole strategy rollout for Layla, which is amazing. But yeah.
And I commend just the industry.
And let me tell you something. We're doing it all online. It's like, I mean, like Layla is not to tell her business, but she is a speaker, right? So people book her to speak. She also is a TV host, right? She also is an athlete, whether she's active or inactive or whatever, training or coaching something or judging something or what have you, right? All events are not happening right now.
Right.
So we are quickly growing a company online. And guess what I was talking to her about?
What?
I said, okay, we're going to have to figure out these sales, these advertising, this sales. We're going to have to figure out this social. She was like, yeah, okay, we got to think about that part next, because she's doing everything organic. Not to tell her business, but she's doing everything organic right now, but she has millions and millions of followers. But I'm like, all right, we're going to test run this, and then we're going to be, and y'all know who I had in mind when I was talking about that. I was like, I'm going to have to get her on the phone.
Oh my Lord. You know what? I've heard a lot of celebrities just go off of their organic, which is great.
Mm-hmm. But no, we're about to kill it. So just know that there will be a call, a consultation, and some other situations coming over on the LL line.
I'm ready. But I mean, it's amazing, the work, and I commend you so much, not just your expertise, but for being able to grow these brands and these huge businesses online right now. I don't know who's unmuted, but I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody and then unmute Monique.
His name, Jolene.
But I mean, just to do all of this in a time like we're in, so you guys, you cannot be discouraged for 1 second, or if you do, snap out of it, because look what's going on behind the scenes, like all sorts of production and press and everything, and you think they letting their bag stop? No. So stop playing small. Like, this is what we all need. And so
let me say this though, because I want to, because it's just at the edge of my, like I'm just like, wait, trying to jump in. So before I lose this, we are, like I said, you guys are at an even playing ground when it comes to these celebrities, right? But then even also, here's the thing. Right now, lives, Facebook, Zoom, these type of things are they're keeping the corporations alive. Wow. Even when it comes to like magazines and print, people aren't buying those type of things. They're not waiting for dailies to come out or weeklies to come out or even monthlies. And some magazines are so posh that they only come out, quarterly. No one's waiting to get that information. They want information right now, every 5 minutes at their fingertips. Okay. And so when it comes down to getting press, right now, what's keeping America alive is all of the social media and the digital platforms. Like, digital is, I just told you guys, it's what's running the world. So what I will say is that this is the prime time to learn what you need to learn from Laurel, apply that to PR, and start getting gangster about pitching yourself to these platforms, because they need you. They need you in order to keep the audience connected. They need to turn over. It's like, I don't know if you guys ever gone to a burger joint and y'all see all them burgers on the grill and they just flipping them and sliding them into the bread and doing. That's how the media is working right now, because everything is instant. So as soon as you get off, they're losing money.
Wow. I mean, look at Shade Room. Like, since we've been on COVID, can we just talk? Shade Room went from posting, a few times a day. They are literally posting, I think, a few times an hour now. Like, because they're capitalizing.
Show contents though too.
Oh my God, they're capitalizing on everybody being online. You guys, ads are so much cheaper now. Oh, I think I hear static.
Sorry.
Was that me? Oh no. Ads are so much cheaper now. Everybody make sure you're on mute, please, for the time being. Ads are so much cheaper now. Like she said, press, like we are what, the audience is what's keeping everything alive. Like she said, I got so many damn quotes from this. I got to run this back. Bree said, run that back one more time. Get gangster. I mean, so many. Yeah, you're about to be on my feed all week because you're just the wise soul is like pouring out. But so many reasons why we need to be using this. And like she said, play on the same level playing field, because what's the difference at this point? We're all home. And I mean, what is stopping you from getting your word out there? I think this is perfect transition. How can we little people get our word out there using press? And then, I mean, the impact that that's going to have with ads is phenomenal. But how do we put that together? Like how can we work with you? Just get to the point. I'm trying to beat around the bush.
Right. She's like, how can you work with me? I have a few different ways to work with me. Laurel knows that this is where I'm not like the best when I'm like, the selling myself. So
no, that's done already. That's done.
Look, I love things to happen as organic as possible, but I do have a couple of courses that I'm creating. I'm actually creating an academy, Laurel, that I have to talk to you about this weekend. Because I still talk to her about stuff before I do stuff. And so there are a few ways to work with me, but I would honestly say, if you are interested in learning more, I do have a free masterclass. Once you go onto my Instagram and click the link in the bio, then you can register for the free masterclass, and then you can get a full-on presentation. And if you like or love what you hear, then you have a clearer picture of all the things that are offered during the course. I have a 6-week course, and I'm starting a 12-month a membership program too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And
I would say definitely just, click follow and then hit me on the DM.
Can I just brag real quick? And I know this is BS all day. Sorry, you guys, but her course, like, I feel like I was around for this birth, like the pregnancy and the birth and of this course. I've never seen any.
She was my doula. You were.
I'm like, wait. I've never, and y'all know I love what I do, met someone so passionate about helping people do what she does for others. And before y'all get into the whole, but I want to rap. Listen, I can't afford Monique. Let's just keep it real. I'm not the Ludacris's, the Layla Ali's, Leslie. Let's not even worry about that right now, because what she has is 10 times better. She's literally walking you step by step through her process of what she does for her clients. I'm just like, what? She has a team that does all this for her now. So there's no way. I mean, can I say what an amazing, strong mom of 5 you are? Every day I'm like, what would Monique do? I'd be like, Monique, my kid's getting on my damn nerve. What am I saying? She's like, girl. So I don't know how you do it. I don't, but I know that you are so passionate and serious about helping your members. And when I was blessed and honored to go on hers a couple weeks ago, I was like, these women, I mean, they are like, oh, hell, Monique, yes, please give me more. So, and the course had just started. I think you were a few weeks in, right?
Yeah. I'll say this though. I have had, just like anyone else, I think I know life is all about peaks and valleys, And so I will say this though, the birth of this course came from a couple of things. I had gone through some personal, like I was living a life that was, dream, married to somebody I've been knowing since I was 19. He's my only baby's father, was with him for quite a few years. I'll just say that. Like Laurel said, 5 boys, 5 Black boys that I am raising, right? And went through all of that. And then one child got sick one year, like abruptly. Like Friday, we were good. Saturday, he was in a coma, and the doctors were saying he was going to die at 6 years old. Life-altering situations where now that one is he still sleep. I don't sleep at night because I have to check them constantly for comas and seizures and things like that, medically dependent on medicine for the rest of their life because there's no cure. That happened 1 year from one. The next year, second one happened. Second son, same thing. So at that point, I had 2 children under the age of 9 years old who needed me day and night. Back in pull-ups, couldn't go to school, just all of these things happened. things have gotten better. But in that situation, you know how they say money or cheating or health reasons are the reasons why most couples don't make it. Well, after knowing my husband for 26 years, we didn't make it. He left one day, just like went out to go get some milk and bread, said he was going to his mom's house, and just cracked. And I hate to tell this story because I said there's a couple of girls on it. Dion is on here. Dion knows my husband. She's seen me when I was pregnant. She knows me when I, went to the same church, have friends and everything else. So I hate to, but I'm calling her out because she don't even know all of the story. But it just happened abruptly. So I went from being able to travel and live the life of my dream, being in love, having healthy children, being, teaching in Africa, guys, teaching in Mexico, teaching in Paris several times a year. Like, I had a phenomenal life. My girl group, my girl powwow girl was like my celebrity clients. They were my hardcore friends. They were business women like Dion and stuff. That Dion, y'all don't know Dion personally, but honey, she's fabulous. She has her own business and she lives a fabulous life. She is a celebrity, in fact, in the beauty world. But I'm just saying, I was really living a life of my dreams. And then all of a sudden I wasn't, right? And so what I realized that I had the capability of bouncing back, and it was something that was haunting me as I was coming up back into play, getting my mind right and working through my new normal with my children and things like that. I realized that there were women that were just like me who had businesses, but needed the right tools, the right knowledge, right? The right structure, so that if they hit a road bump, they would never be in a situation where they would lose it all, and including losing the ability to support themselves and the people that they love that were depending on them. And so even once I got it right, I kept on, hearing that my promise to God wasn't complete, because it wasn't just about me. Ooh. And I worked at Def Jam, and Russell Simmons used to tell us something years and years ago, because I started my own company while I was at Def Jam. I met my other business partner there, and I convinced her to start a company there. And Russell used to say, because he used to have us chanting and shit like that when we would go to Def Jam retreats. And one night we were on the rooftop in his, Manhattan penthouse. This is when him and Kimora was still together. So I'm dating myself, but I just told you I'm 45, so I don't give a damn. Anyway, the bottom line is that we and doing some shit that I didn't know what was doing it, but I said he rich, and if it working for him, I'm gonna do it too. Right? And he said that your dream always has to be bigger than you. Your why always has to be bigger than you. Your purpose always has to be bigger than you and the immediate people that you serve. And so it took me from 23 or something like that to 45 to really understand and walk in that as being the truth. Because at 45, here I was, the mother of 5, divorced after 26 years, 2 kids that were not healthy, that were dependent on me now for until there's a cure. And my bank account changed. My mindset had to change. I had to become renewed. And once I got better and start making money and start going back up the scale, I was like, this don't satisfy my soul anymore. Like, just making some calls for a Nisi, and that's easy, or making some calls for a Layla, I can do that. But what can I do more? How can this serve more than just me? And so that's how I created Getting the Press to Say Yes, because I wanted to give everyday women who looks like me the ability, the know-how, right? The skill set that they need in order to gain the visibility that they actually deserve to grow their business, their brand, and their bank account. And so that was the end of it. And so, whew, that's all I got, guys. That's all I have. But that's why I'm passionate, because it really is my heart.
I have no words, like none. And I know sometimes I'll text you and I'll just be like, I'm literally speechless. But the strength is, I mean, I don't know. Can somebody else say something? Because I'm just.
Can I say something?
Please.
This is Dion. Hi, Monique. That's my girl, my sister friend. I'm so proud of her and her journey and what you've accomplished, Monique. And the strength. I don't have words for it. I'm at the doctor's right now, so I'm trying to she's about to give me my blood test. I didn't want to miss this class, so here's a nurse. So we handling it. So I just wanted to say that. Yeah, it was up high because I'm just so excited about Monique speaking today, and this is a gift to have her on here today. And I just can't wait to see you give you a palm hug because we can't hug. Um, but that's all I wanted to say. Like the wisdom that she has, I can't express it. And I'm just really proud of you to call you my friend.
Thank you, Dion. Likewise.
Yes.
Thank you, Dion.
And last week when I announced that you were going to be our guest speaker, she was like, what? Like, really? And I was like, what a small world. So it's amazing.
I love Dion. Fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, you've blown us away completely. I dropped the link. I believe I dropped the link up here, guys. I'm going to drop it again. I mean, I don't know how much more you could give us, but if that's what they need to do to get in touch with you about your program, please. I don't know when doors close, but I know that you've been filling up really fast. Even when we first started together, you were like, I need these how do I turn these things off? Because my calendar is crazy right now. Like, how do I get this? So
L'Oreal gave me some tricks, y'all. Like studying underneath her. And again, that's when the press came into play, because then people were like, oh, wait a minute, I saw her in that blog. I saw her in that magazine. Wait a minute, I saw her on that interview, you know? And I show you guys I show my students how to get exactly what I've done. I'm like, if I can do it, y'all can do it. Like, because I did it, y'all are going to do it, right? But when L'Oreal was like, no, you have to use what you got, girl. Use this part and then do that. And then, okay, run this. Okay, you definitely have to use what you got because people will recognize you. When I tell you in a week, I had 104, like it literally was probably like in 5 days or less. I had 104 people booked out on my calendar. And I was like, L'Oreal, I can't take these calls. How do we stop it? Can we stop it right quick? Because I couldn't even get to my regular job with the regular clients that I already had. But I am so grateful because this experience has been one. I'm actually like trying to figure out how L'Oreal, and L'Oreal, I know I'm not putting you on the spotlight, but I'm like, okay, then after people take this course, then what else do they need to take, like, for more maintenance? Because even the stuff that I learned from you first time around, I need to come and touch on you some more. You know what I mean? And vice versa. We still need to figure it out. So it was exhausting, but it was a good thing. And that again, that's when you're under the right leadership, when you're under the right people who know confidently, they know what they know, and they can give it to you in bite-sized pieces and actually walk you through, then you're not afraid to jump. You know, you hear about people saying jump, you know, and a lot of times in life, I've closed my eyes and crossed my fingers and prayed to God that I would make it down, and I jumped and took some big risk. And every time I took a big risk, you know, I've come out at least impressed with myself. I'm not gonna say it always worked out, but at least I knew what to do, what not to do, and I was impressed with myself for like at least trying. You know what I mean? And sometimes the big risk is just really just betting on yourself, having the confidence to bet on yourself. So again, I thank you, L'Oreal, for giving me that extra nudge and push. She kind of shoved me in there. She didn't even push. Go, girl. I said, oh, okay. All right. Hi. And I was out there. So, but I'm grateful and I'm ready to do more. So, you know.
When you have the passion for helping people that she has, and I mean, this is somebody that I would be chasing. I'm like, can I get a piece? This is how. So if you guys really want to combine press with ads, this is not a whole sales pitch. Just go check her out. You would have probably found her anyway, but hurry up if you're interested, because the combination has been insane. When she pitched me for something real, she was like, it's no big deal. I'm just going to put this first little thing. I got blown up the next morning. She's hitting me up like, did you see? I'm like, I see. What is going on? And she's like, no. Like, they need what you have. And every single one of you in here, I will tell you something along the lines of what she told me. I might screw it up, but you have a story in you. You have a brand. You have something that can be shared on media, and you need to get it out there. You need to. So, and you can do it yourself. I would say that's the biggest takeaway I learned from her too, is you can do this yourself, but you need an expert who actually does this, because you'll be out here trying to, I don't know, pitch to Forbes and stuff. They'll be kicking your shit to the back.
There's timing, and I take you through the timing process, but in like which way, just basically the same way L'Oreal teaches you strategies and when to strike and when to move a certain way. then that's what you learn. You learn the fundamentals and you learn like strategies behind it, and you get it all in 6 weeks. And there's some bonuses and there's some fun, and you know, it's a really good time. I really enjoy it because I've seen it like I'm laughing now because I get excited to see when people get their, like, you know, first couple of pieces of press even on their own. I'm like, oh my, they're excited. And I'm like, girl, I already knew you was going to get it. We just got to apply. Just got to learn and apply, just like in life. And so, again, thank you for having me, Laurel. Thank you for pushing me out here and making me jump. And you all are in the right hands with Laurel if you're interested in doing whatever. I even say sometimes just pick my brain, because sometimes when you pick my brain, it makes me better. So just hit me in the DMs.
Wow, slide in her DMs, y'all. I hope if we can just have like 4 minutes of your time. We have a couple more of your time. We have a couple of questions. And I don't want to shade nobody here. So if you guys, I got 2 here. We may have room for like 2 more if we pop them out. But you're just overflowing with wisdom, and I'm so happy to have you. So if we can, I have Colicia, I have Maisha. If y'all are still here. Yes, Shakia, absolutely. I will post it again. Hey, Colicia, you had a question for Miss Jackson?
Hey, Miss Monique, I'm just blown away by your story, first of all. Okay, so let me just go ahead and give you some background. So I was on an MTV show a while ago, and of course we know MTV, their audience is mainly white teenage girls, I mean, in my opinion. So I've actually gone through the process of like blocking over 15,000 of those people, because I just feel like that's not my audience anymore. How do you, and really what I want to do is kind of go in a more authentic direction. And I think a large part of me has been, and I feel like the more I kind of talk about it to people, they feel like they're in the same situations where you grow up in a Christian household. So I identify as Christian, but Christians identify me as a witch because I use other practices. So I'm really trying to create a safe space for that, but I want them out the way because they still asking me about stuff that happened on the show. How do you recommend just completely transforming your audience?
Okay, so what I gathered, you didn't say what you do, but what I gathered is that you do something that has to do with.
I sell a journal. Yeah.
What?
So I sell a journal. So the journal, it's just self-care.
So you sell a journal about self-care.
Right. It's a self-care. It's like a manifestation journal.
Okay, got it. And so you somehow think that these white girls that are 22 and 30 years old don't need self-care. They don't need to manifest. They don't need to, they don't have goals and dreams. You think that?
I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that they no longer engage with me because I'm not in that realm.
Right. So I'll say this. A long time ago, I created a show called The T.O. Show. A lot of people saw me on that show on VH1, and they thought of me as a publicist. They had no idea that I sat up in Def Jam, wrote a treatment for a client because someone else at The Bachelor told him no, right, for being on The Bachelor. ABC declined him. That's inside information. ABC declined him because he was a chocolate brother. And one of the executives that my partner Keita and I knew went to lunch and said, no, he's too chocolate. Middle America is not ready for him to be loving, hugging, and kissing all up on these Caucasian persuasions. When in real life, he was an athlete. So he dated all kinds of women, right? But because of that no, I used someone else I knew at MTV. I had did a Def Jam Uncensored. Long story short, Def Jam Uncensored, because I was trying to pitch a show for Def Jam because I thought we were bomb ass, like young Black people creating this legacy and making millions of dollars for a corporation, right? But anyways, use that connection to pitch the T.O. show. And then I convinced my partner Keita to like, let's go sell the show. Here's what I have to say about that. Even though people saw me in one light, if you're dope at what you do, you will slowly start transitioning certain people over. You may not get the whole entire 1,500 of them, but there may be a cool 300. And do you know what 300 times $100 is? Every 6 weeks or every 3 months?
That's
Right.
so true.
That's still money in your pocket, right? Because you're going to, whoever believes in you will eventually become a buyer if you create the right offer, right? And so I wouldn't say block them. I would say figure out a way to speak into their listening. That's where you have to get better with your copy. So pay attention to L'Oreal. That's where you have to get stronger with your pitch angles, because there's more than one way to tell the story. So you might need to sign up for the free masterclass that I give. You don't want to walk away from, and I'm not saying this, I'm saying all of this with LOVE, guys, but you don't want to walk away from anybody who already thinks that they know you. What you want to do is act like Hove. Jay-Z, allow me to introduce myself, right? And you want to just repackage what you already have and figure out a way to make them want that from you, right? Don't scare them. I wouldn't do that. You throwing away money. Yeah.
I did, because I'm not telling you, I went through, I was like, I don't want none of these folks no more. So I literally
Unblock
blocked
them, and speak to that. There's Flashback Fridays. There's Throwback Thursdays. There's Motivational Mondays. Talk about some of the fucking lessons that you've learned when you were on the show and how that empowered you to manifest what it is. Talk about how you manifest being on that show. Bring them in to your current world, but connect the dots for them.
Wow.
This is gold.
Wow. I should have wore a sweater, because I'm like, my hair's just been standing up this whole last hour and a half. Woo! That says a lot. I mean, even just for, I know I'm too probably data oriented, but even just for expanding your audience, you don't know who's out there, like she said. And when I first started this course, like when I was transitioning from corporate, I had this idea of who my audience would be. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, half y'all weren't in here. Like, I knew who I wanted to serve, but then I learned so many more people were attracted to me, and not me, but like benefited from what I taught. I'm not gonna lie, back in the day, you think I thought Maisha's a photographer. You think I thought, oh, let me go out there and say, I know nothing about photography. I don't know how to put on lashes unless they strip. So Dion, help me, Lord, Shar, all y'all beauty experts out here. I don't know nothing about pole dancing, gym studio. Y'all don't even want to know. Y'all will see me and know I don't know nothing about that. But what you can benefit from, you know, people will tell you. And that's what I've learned just from doing this, which is why y'all think I'm crazy. Even Bree be like, wait, you said you got how many ad sets? I'm like, I have at least anywhere from 50 to 76 at any point in time running, because of what I've learned, who has come to me and listened to me and resonated with that I would have never thought of. So I'm going to only assume, based on her knowledge, that that's exactly how it is with press. And just to put your story out there and to be confident, I think, in your story, in your journey.
Yeah.
Woo.
Thank you so much for sharing. That was awesome.
No problem.
Whoa. Maisha had a question. Wow. Maisha said, how would this well, I don't know if Maisha's still here, but she asked, it's a good question.
Name. I want to hear Maisha's voice. I always talk. I see Maisha's. There we go.
Thank you for coming. So I wanted to know, I'm a boudoir photographer in Virginia.
I'm familiar.
And I service I would say my radius would maybe be like 3.5 hours out. How could this PR translate into like a local market?
So that's interesting. Okay. And so your PR would translate in a local market from the sense of the way you're doing, the same way you run ads. You know how when you run an ads, you can run ads for a certain radius, right? So then you want to, when you're doing publicity, there's different levels to it, right? So there's immediate interaction that would happen between you all. Then there's regional interaction, right? Local, right? So you would look at your local cable shows, you would look at your local, even news stations right now need things. You would look at your local papers and things like that. And you would look at whatever bloggers or influencers that are local in your area that can help you spread the word. So in other words, if you had a blogger, you might want to give 5 tips on how to do selfies or create your own home studio or what have you, right? And not enough to take business away from you, but enough to just entice them, right? Not unless you're selling a course. Like I've seen your stuff, because if I'm familiar with you, you're the girl who talks on one of Laurel's ads about all of your stuff, and then you go and all the girls are posed up sexy, and girl, I'm a 4-figure chick. So I was like, oh, how do I do this? And then I realized that you were in a whole different market and you're not about to show me how to do this. But I was like, how can I be sexy in these photos? You know, I'm newly single, okay? Got a couple of wigs that I can try on, so I'm familiar with you. You see how that works? You see how I am familiar with you because of Laurel? That's the same way you would want to do with other influencers. You would want to partner. I teach people how to do collaborations that are win-win, because again, PR stands for public relations. So it's how the public relates to you. But local news stations do things. I would show you different angles on how to do that. Like for instance, say it was, what holiday is coming up? Because now every day is just day. Right. Where are we? Let's just say Mother's Day was coming up, because that's popular and people like to get beautied up and things like that. Say Mother's Day was coming up, and you were doing stuff for mothers that were over 50 that still want, 50 and fabulous, or new single moms or what have you, right? And you were doing some type of promotion, some type of giveaway. You could run an ad for that giveaway to draw in more traffic and create your email list and create your, your visibility, your brand visibility. But also with that, I would show you how to pitch yourself to a couple of local news stations and a couple of other radio stations and things like that, because there is a community action team that actually allocate nonprofit and charitable places and spaces. They have to use so many of those. And so typically, when you're pitching a business, you have to know the secrets behind that. Otherwise, they'll say, oh, that's advertising. You need to pay us for that, right? Because they realize that you're going to make money from it. But if you put a different spin on it, mothers who survived cancer, mothers who are newly single, mothers who are, low in a low economic bracket, and you're going to show them how to glam themselves up and, dress for less, or I'm just giving you an example, but like, get their sexy back or whatever it is. Take photos, professional photos for your business and your resumes or whatever, so they can get back out there working. Like there's so many different reasons why you need pictures. And then people will then start discovering that that Maisha exists and all of this sexiness exists. And I want to go to her. You know what I mean? I have quite a few business owners that I teach that are super local, like in Mississippi Jackson local.
Okay.
They are booming because, like Laurel said, I'm very passionate about what I do. So then I do with my students, I do one-on-ones throughout the course.
You do?
Girl,
I didn't know.
Talk to you. That's why I got to talk to you, because I will do that. So I call it a quick 15, and I'm on the phone with them for an hour, but I'm also giving them business strategies. But I will say this, God will make room for your gifts. And I'm telling you, this is the truth. Out of doing that with group number 1 and group number 2, because I only have 2 groups right now that I'm teaching this course to, right?
That's a lot.
I have realized that's where the birth of She's a Millionaire. Put some more zeros behind your goals. Okay, that's how the whole concept of the 12-month membership came about. Because I realized that these quick catch-up calls, there are so many other business strategies that they need.
Yeah.
So it's okay, because it's made me come up with a whole nother business.
Wow.
By giving.
Wow.
So that's it. Don't be afraid to give.
Yeah. I didn't know that you were doing one-on-ones, just because I know you filled up so fast. I didn't realize that.
No, I only do it with the students that are enrolled.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
But it's enough, girl.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how you do that.
Hi. But I get on, I'm excited, and then ideas just flow. That's one thing I am good. I am really good with but I'm good with helping create ideas that's going to generate some money. I love creating profit for professional women.
Yes. Yes. So, and just to know that this woman has been with all the stars. She is a star, so to know that just the access is there is crazy. I would have been signed up. Damn, I didn't know. I'm out here like, bye, y'all. I got to go because she's doing one-on-ones. I'm done.
I'm not going to do one-on-ones for long, Laurel. After I talk to you about this idea, I'm telling you, I got to figure out some more angles, and then I'm about to cut it for the summer.
No, I feel you. I know it's getting to a point over here too. It's a lot, but while we have you, just thank you. That's all I can say. This was beyond my wildest dreams of having you on. I didn't even know we would get this deep, but I know everyone here is just, I'm sure, jaw dropped. Like, wow. That's all the questions that I saw. I know we're even over time, but you guys, I dropped the link. I think I'm gonna just drop it again just in case you missed it. Go follow her. Go check out her. When is your webinar?
I'm gonna do one next Tuesday. I'm gonna go ahead and stick to that. I'm rolling my eyes. I said there's some things that I'm revamping, but that's why I was up last night. Yeah, but I'm gonna get to it. Yeah, we gonna go.
Yeah, I'm sure they all waiting. Like tonight, we'll be there. Let us know.
Not tonight. I'm revamping. But yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
Yes. Well, thank you. Okay. Thank you. We'll hopefully have you again soon. And then you and I we'll talk offline. But yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking out, for this whole thing too. It was amazing. And I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you, Laurel. Thank you, Social Lab. Thank you for all my friends, old and new, on here. I hope you guys follow me. Tag me if you or post any questions in my DM. I would love to answer them. You all asking questions help me grow, honestly. And let's give it up for Laurel, guys, just because I know you guys are on mute, but just give up a silent clap, because honestly, I literally wouldn't be here, but I wouldn't be even in this space if it wasn't for this one right here pushing me to go now. I'm telling you, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just go. Okay, I'm here, here, guys. Hey, so thank you, Laurel. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yes,
bye.
thank you. Next
Bye.
week. Bye.